It's the Shatkin First Down Pregame Show, presented by Dr. Todd Shatkin and the Aesthetic Associates Center, with your hosts, Rich Gaenzler and Dr. Jared Shatkin, and our special guest, Buffalo Bills alum, Andre Reed. Now, from the Shatkin Sports Network studios in Amherst, here are your hosts, Rich Gaenzler and Jared Shatkin.
Welcome to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. A lot happening on the show today. We'll, of course, have the Mafia. We'll break down the Jets. Andre Reed going to join us as our special Bills guest. But we kick off with myself, Rich Gaenzler, and Dr. Jared Shatkin with a breakdown of the Ravens game. And, I mean, obviously, the comeback is what it is. Bills' first team ever to come back from 15-plus down in the final 4 minutes in regulation. That's never happened before. You know, the good, obviously, the comeback in the offense and the attack mode, and we'll talk about that more as we go in. The bad, obviously, was the fact that we gave up gigantic chunk plays and big yardage to literally two guys in terms of Jackson and Henry. That's got to get fixed.
Absolutely. It's not just it's the linebackers, it's the third level, it's the defensive line was giving up gaping holes, and Henry was running through them, and Lamar Jackson was doing what he does. But I think this is the perfect Week 1 game, a game where the coach is able to look at the film and have so much to criticize, but you ended up getting away with a win against one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely something to refer to. Let's talk about some other guys from this game. How about Joey Bosa? What was your takeaway? I mean, on television, I watched it at home. You were there. But on TV, there were a couple times he lost contain. Look, a guy his size trying to contain Lamar Jackson one-on-one is nearly impossible. But I thought he did pretty good in his debut in a Bills uniform.
Well, I think he made some good plays. I don't think the pass rush was ineffective by him, and I think he was winning on some of his moves. But you can't really contain a guy like that as Joey Bosa. It's tough. And he makes that big play on the third down where he punches the ball out. I'm happy to see how he played. I also think he's going to play much better against a different opponent. I think an opponent like that is very difficult for Joey Bosa, who's a run stopper by nature, crashes down, and then he did let Lamar Jackson out the backside a little bit a couple times. But overall, I'm pretty encouraged by the way he played.
How about the Bills tight end? So, of course, the Bills open their scoring with the post to Kincaid, and I would argue the same exact play to Hawes later in the game. I mean, the ball was basically thrown to the same exact spot in the same sort of situation, but unbelievable throws and great catches by both of the tight ends. And, of course, a guy in Hawes you never expected to catch a pass, especially in that game. But then Kincaid getting off early for the Bills, I think is a great sign for them.
Yeah, I think Kincaid started off the game really well, and I think he had a few nice catches throughout. I think that's a successful game for Dalton Kincaid right there. A touchdown and about 48 yards. That's a good game for your starting tight end. I think Dawson Knox is always, he's Mr. Consistent nowadays. He catches the ball, he runs the right play, and he's a great blocker. But the wild card there is the Jackson Hawes, because he is such an incredible blocker. And if he can become athletic enough to catch the ball a little bit, that three tight end is going to be pretty dangerous in this offense.
That just means the dinner table has to get even bigger, right? Because now even more people are eating. One guy you didn't, yes, he scored a touchdown, but you didn't hear or see a lot of was James Cook in that game.
Yeah, but I think that he had that big run on the reception, and he played awesome. I mean, the Ravens' defense is very stingy against the run, and they didn't let much up against the run against James Cook, Ty Johnson, or Ray Davis. So you're not going to expect that, but a couple big plays by Cook. He found a couple holes, and that reception he had was huge. It gets us that touchdown to get back in the game.
Yeah, and lastly, in the breakdown of the game, well, two more points. One turnover, that was it, but it was in our favor at the most critical time in the game.
I mean, that is one of the best turnovers in Bills history since I've been alive, at least. You know, Ed Oliver, like you said, played an incredible game. And for him to get in there and punch that out of the big Derrick Henry's hands, squared up, too. It's not like Derrick Henry was losing control of the ball. That's just a really, really strong defensive play and something that people will remember for a long time.
Keon Coleman shifting it over to the offense. Another great game, or a great game for him. 11 targets. He was all over the field, almost had that breakaway late touchdown. Maybe great that he didn't in the end. Talk about Keon's composure and his contribution to the game plan.
You know, he really impressed me a lot because, yeah, maybe he's not a guy who's going to win immediately off separation, but what he does very well is he doesn't give up on a play. Every time Josh is scrambling, he's looking for the open spot, and he's very good at the scramble drill. He's a phenomenal athlete. He can break tackles. I think playing against a guy like Jair Alexander, like Nate Wiggins, against a really good secondary, that's extremely encouraging to see where Keon Coleman goes from here.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, Prater comes in, 23 game-winning field goals before the field goal he kicks to win it. What a great pickup by Brandon Beane. Literally 36 hours into a Bills uniform is really pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, you picked the Bills. I picked the Ravens. So, yeah, I was right for 59 minutes and 59 seconds. That all doesn't count in the end. But the Ravens, I mean, again, they beat themselves in a big game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's kind of what John Auerbach has done throughout the Ravens' careers. They get up big, and then they kind of just play prevent defense, keep everything in front of them, and let people stomp all the way down the field and get too close.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the stat yet, Harbaugh teams have blown 17 double-digit leads in the second half of games they played in. All right, we're going to go to a break. We'll come back. Andre Reed, the Bills Hall of Famer, joins us when we return on the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show.
Hi, I'm Dr. Todd Shatkin here with Hall of Fame running back Thurman Thomas.
My family and I have been coming to Dr. Shatkin's dental office for years. The office is beautiful and the staff is outstanding.
Thanks, Thurman. It's been an honor for me to take care of you and your family.
For a Hall of Fame smile, go where the pros go. Dr. Todd Shatkin at the Aesthetic Associates Center.
Call today for a free consultation, 839-1700.
All right, man, it gives me a great pleasure to welcome back an old friend, Andre Reed, Bills Hall of Famer. First of all, Andre, you look very comfortable.
Yeah. I'm in New York City. I'm in crazy New York. I mean, hey.
I was watching the game the other night, and I was sitting there with a buddy of mine, and he goes,
Last night, you mean, or 2 nights ago?
2 nights ago.
Yeah.
So we're watching the game. He sees you on TV. Obviously, you're doing the right here right now. But he goes, I think Andre could still play.
I don't know, man. It's just, once you get on that field and you're a part of that, and you see that electricity coming through that tunnel, that never leaves you. That never, you feel like a kid again. You feel like my first game at 21 years old. Going to that stadium, it brings back those kind of memories.
I want you to talk about last weekend in terms of being out there at the beginning of the game. Tell me about the energy and how it compared doing that on Sunday to what it was like. You mentioned coming out of the tunnel and being a player. How did the two compare when you were leading the charge, if you will, before the game to when you were playing? How did they compare, if at all?
That's pretty good, man. That's a close one because everybody's looking at you and waiting for you to rile them up instead of a play doing it.
Right.
What kind of energy do I feel? Yeah, I feel like the energy is just to the roof, and there's no doubt about it to come back. And I'm 7-0 now. 7-0. We won last 2 nights ago, so I'm 7-0 as a guy that leads the charge. So next year I'm going for 8-0.
Awesome.
But to be a part of that and see those fans, I see fans that I've known for a while. It is an electric time there for me to go back there and everybody looking at me to get them riled up and get them ready for the game.
So you played on a team that obviously had probably the most improbable comeback win like ever, largely in part because you were playing with your backup quarterback. So go back to Sunday. Now you got Unicorn Josh Allen, who is, he would go in the Hall of Fame today if he retired. He's that good, right? So
oh yeah,
knowing
just on merit now, he would, yeah.
So knowing what you went through with Frank and the team in the comeback game against the Oilers, and then fast forwarding to the game the other night, was there no doubt in your mind that this team could come back?
I wouldn't say there was no doubt. Obviously, you're playing a Ravens team with Lamar on the other side and the King, Derrick Henry, just running people over and all that. It looked a little somber for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But it only takes one thing to happen for a team to really realize that they never were out of it in the first place. And that's what happened. Everything during the comeback game, things just started happening one after another. And it doesn't make a difference if you don't capitalize on those things, it doesn't mean anything. So it's a testament to that team that they're able to capitalize. And Josh makes those throws, and Ed Oliver has the game of his life and does all this stuff. You got to have every person, 48 guys on that team, with the same kind of mentality that you have. And with one guy that doesn't have that, it doesn't work. We don't win.
So what do you make of the game this weekend?
I don't know, man. The Jets are sneaky, man. The Jets played a great game. They played a pretty good game, Sunday against, the Steelers, and Aaron Rodgers was back in New York. I'm sure he got some booze, but they could have won that game. And Pittsburgh is a pretty good team. Pittsburgh is going to make some noise this year. So you never can count the Jets out. The Jets are always that team that if you don't come to play, the Jets are going to send you home with a loss. So I'm sure Sean knows that, and all the players know that. They got to come. They got to come with the same intensity that they had against the Ravens.
Keon Coleman.
Yeah.
Breakout game Sunday. What do you make of his potential?
It's just great for his confidence. Obviously a first rounder at receiver there's a lot of pressure on you. There's a lot of pressure on you to be the man. I talked to him a lot last year, and messaged him a few times already this year. Just keep your head, in the game, and keep your head on the right track here. It's just one game, and you're going to be counted on a lot this year. To do that every game, you're going to be counted on. So that's the mentality that he has to have. That he's the guy that they go to make that play when it was there, and he did that. Josh Palmer also. So, and I'm sure Josh knows that he's going to throw him the ball, and you got to make the play. So. I think he's going to be all right.
Do you remember the first jersey you had as a kid? And was it something that mom or dad or someone just gave you randomly, or was it of your favorite player?
You know what? It wasn't of my favorite player. It was just a jersey with a number on it.
Yeah.
Right?
All right. Well, listen, I appreciate your time. Enjoy your time in New York as always. You're much beloved, obviously, Bills Hall of Famer. We loved what you did in the opener before it, leading the charge. And next one, you'll be 8-0 next year in the new stadium.
8-0, going on for 8-0 next year.
All right, brother. Thank you, man. I really appreciate you.
All right, thanks, guys. Peace.
Okay, team, we're down by 6 with only one play left. It's comeback time. Yeah! We need a play. The reverse ribeye, no good. The porterhouse pitch, too risky. The strip steak sweep, that's it. Go Russell! Touchdown! Where would you like to have dinner tonight? Russell's, of course. Be my guest and let us do the rest.
I was in a car accident. My front tooth cracked. I'm definitely embarrassed to smile. I got mini dental implants. It changed my life because it made me feel like me. Like I can smile and feel like Ashley. I just want to say thank you.
Mini dental implants can change your life too. You can be you again. Call us at 839-1700 for a free consultation.
I'm more than happy. I'm ecstatic.
All right, welcome back to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. We're going to talk quarterbacking, and as we go inside the pocket. All right, inside the pocket, UFL quarterback, Memphis Showboat, Sam Castronova, of course, Buffalo product, joining us. I mean, didn't get much better than Allen and Jackson the other night. Not Allen Jackson, the country, sorry, for anyone that was confused. Not talking about the country guy, Allen and Jackson.
I think they know
you got it good. Okay, thanks. But you don't get much better than that.
No, I mean, what a showing. I mean, both guys played great. It was kind of almost the opposite of the playoff game last year, where we kind of got the lead and Josh was basically handing the ball off and just completing passes when he needed to. Lamar was doing that, and then we were playing catch up. But for us, it actually worked out. So
it's incredible the sensibility the two of them have in terms of the pocket, right? Where the rush is coming from, whether that's, and you're a quarterback, so is that pre-snap figuring it out, or is that mid-play?
That's a mid-play.
Totally improv.
That's a feel thing. You see some guys have it and some guys don't. Yeah. Some guys are great athletes, but they just don't have that feel. But like Joe Burrow, he's a good athlete, but he's nothing special. But he's phenomenal in the pocket. Whereas like some guys that are super good athletes don't always see it coming, and they could run a 4.4, but they just don't have that presence. Tom Brady was unbelievable at it, and he ran what, a 5.2 on his 40-yard dash. So that's just kind of an it factor, a feel thing. Some quarterbacks have it, and some don't.
Okay, perfect segue. Does Justin Fields have the it factor, the feel thing that he needs to be a good quarterback? Granted, guy's been in the league a few years, but he's gone through coordinator after coordinator after coordinator, and another new one with the Jets, and had a nice game in that opener.
Yeah, I think he's getting there. I mean, he's, like you said, he's had a different offensive coordinator every year, different system, different players, been on 3 different teams. He played phenomenally the other day. I think he's getting there. He can still work on his pocket passing, but he has a great feel. I mean, obviously he's a tremendous athlete, so we definitely have to reel that in. Lamar ran all over us, so that's definitely something we're going to be concerned about, containing the pocket and kind of just squeezing it as opposed to giving him lanes to run through.
Awesome analysis. Stay right here. You're going to be part of the Mafia. Get rid of the ball. Welcome back to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show, joined by the Mafia. You know Jared, you know Sam, and you know these guys too as well. They've been back in our 5th year of doing the show. They've been here multiple times. Mark and Bob, guys, welcome. First of all, who went to the game? Show of hands. Who stayed for the entire game? Show of hands. What is wrong with you people? Believe, B-I-L-L-I-E-V-E, believe. Josh Allen said it after the game. So did, I think, Deion Dawkins. Come on, stay with your team, guys.
Never leave.
Come on.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that experience, obviously, for the guys that were there. Well, you can't talk about it because you left. You and I can because we watched the entire game on television. At least I think you did. I definitely did.
I did.
How many people turned
Left
their
my
TV
dad's
off,
house
too?
to go to my house, but I still kept watching.
Okay, very good. So you were watching and driving. Excellent. Good.
Well,
good.
it's 6 houses down.
Okay. All right. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. All right. Let's talk some ball here, and let's talk the game. And Bob, I'm going to start with you because you famously ended up on social media doing a shot out of the bowling ball. Famous, of course, from Pinto Ron, Kenny, whatever you want to call him, the Red Pinto. So how was that? His first time?
First time doing a bowling ball, yeah.
How was that experience?
That was pretty cool, pretty cool.
What?
Beautiful day for tailgating. Everybody was in a great spirits, great mood, and until the first 3 quarters of the game. But yeah.
So your experience of the game, obviously your breakdown of what you saw in person. What was the crowd like? I mean, obviously it was back and forth for most of the game until the Ravens, obviously, and it was big play after big play after big play. I think between Jackson and Henry, they combined for like 450, like ridiculous. So what was your take?
Yeah, we knew the Ravens were going to be tough. They're one of the best teams in the league. They're big, they're huge. I just thought we would play better defensively against them. We drafted all these defensive players. Sanders was on the field for 4 of the touchdowns. I know they're rookies, but I just thought we would see more out of our defense. I really didn't hear Milano's name called that much. I didn't hear number 8, Bernard called it all, and our safeties were chasing Henry all night long, and our cornerbacks. So their scores were extremely easy, and it was very frustrating to watch with a sold-out crowd. 3 quarters of the game went really, they could do whatever they want against us.
Mark, how was the drone show? I got to ask you, not being there, it looked amazing on TV.
It was amazing. It was amazing. Well, we all went out and we were watching in the sky. What they can do nowadays with the technology, it's crazy.
Let's stay with the defense and that side of the ball. I mean, this is troublesome, right? I mean, granted, the Ravens have arguably 2 of the top 10 guys in the league on their offense, and we saw it in that game, and they just absolutely abused our defense, which was supposed to Bob's credit, be brought up by virtue of free agents and draft picks, and that did not happen. And why didn't that happen? One of the things that we noticed on television, maybe you guys didn't, well, being there live, at least one, if not more, of Henry's runs were through tiny creases. He is a massive man.
Massive man.
And first of all, the inside linebackers didn't contain. They couldn't fight off blocks. And then the guys on the edge had problems containing all game long. So how do we remedy that going forward?
We just have to fill those gaps.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, he's a beast. I mean, you watched on ESPN, they had a story about him and the way he lives. He's not married. He's got a personal chef that makes all his meals. He's dragging these weights up a hill and running. He's just unbelievable. Here's a guy who's made a commitment to being the best. And he is.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. He's done very, very well. And then to you being at the game as well, obviously the vibe was what it was for that first 3 quarters. Right. What could have the Bills done better let's switch it over from the defense offensively to stay with the Ravens.
I think they could have been much more aggressive throughout the first couple quarters because I think anytime Josh got backed up and they called long passing, intermediate passing game for him, he was able to complete a lot of passes. Coleman was catching the ball, Shakir was getting open, Josh Palmer was playing a role, and especially Dalton Kincaid was playing great. That first drive looked great.
Unbelievable.
And it just seems like they kind of went back to a bit of a conservative game plan, which for week one, I understand they're trying to kind of figure things out and see what's going to work. But I think once you figured out that it was just going to work with Josh being Josh, I think they should have kept doing that.
Yeah, Sam, the complaints really came in pretty early in the game. It was second quarter. It's only a 3-point game when the complaints about the passes behind the line of scrimmage didn't work in consecutive plays and short runs just weren't working in consecutive plays. In my opinion, when it's 10-7, that's okay. You're going to have drives like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I was more disappointed. We went up 7-0. They come down, we hold them to a field goal, and then we got the ball back. And was that when we went 3 straight runs?
Yeah.
That was what really kind of made me want to chuck my phone into the wall because you have the MVP quarterback. You have the momentum. You have all the momentum, and then you do that, and it's like you give it right back to them, and they walk right down the field, and then. Versus the teams we play in our division or the teams that we know we're probably going to win the game, I'm okay with the slow, methodical. But when we're playing the top dogs, there's no time to take our foot off the gas. And I just want Brady to not treat Josh Allen like a rookie sometime in those games when he's the MVP of the league. So just take the leash off. It's no need for that.
I agree completely, and I think that's going to be a sentiment really the rest of the year after that game. Okay, you go ahead.
And also maybe not blitz our safety from 20 yards.
Right.
Has anyone asked that question?
Yeah, I don't think so, but yeah.
That needs to be asked if that was him or if that was defensive call or if that was Cole Bishop. But I was flabbergasted. I've never seen nothing like it.
All right, to you guys real quick.
Yes, sir.
And Mark, I'll start with you. Okay. Your best Highmark Stadium memory that you can recall. You've been to a lot of games.
It's a weird thing, but we won the game. We leave the field. I'm putting my key in the back of my car, and a lightning strike hits about 30 yards from us. A guy goes down. My hairs on my arm went up. I had to run because this guy's down. We put blankets on him. I ran to the deputy sheriff who's on and he's got his horse and he's going through the parking lot to get to this guy. It was unbelievable.
Wow, that's a crazy memory.
Alive?
The guy's alive.
Thank
they
God.
took him in, but
thank God.
It was.
Because I've been going for a long time since the beginning. I got 3. I'm gonna go real quick. I gotta say the first to me would be the Raiders, where we won 51-3. The feeling of going to the first Super Bowl ever, and Desert Storm, and all the stuff that was going on at the time with the high security and all that. That we were going to the Super Bowl and we were going to be 8-point favorites was an unbelievable feeling, like we weren't going to lose. The second is, I got to say, when Ahmad Rashad caught a touchdown in the last couple seconds against the Raiders had not lost a Monday night game in the 1970s, and Joe Ferguson hit him. We beat the Raiders 21-20. But of all the games weather-wise, that game against the Colts in the snow was like watching backyard football in my house because you couldn't see anything. Literally, everyone was gone in our section. I got a really nice Bills blanket out of it. And it was just crazy because we won the game. All of a sudden, there was a flag thrown. It was 4th down, and we got an extra play, and we were able to tie the game or go ahead and win that game. And I think that helped us make the playoffs.
Good memories, guys. Thank you. Lastly, we got to get your picks for this game, the Bills and the Jets divisional game. Jets score 32 against what some people think is going to be a pretty good Steeler defense. Obviously, they got a new offensive coordinator there, new head coach. What do you think? Score prediction, Bills, Jets.
30 Bills, 27 Jets.
Okay, Bills win a close one.
Okay, one last thing. I just want to wish both my sons had babies in the last month. I want to wish, congratulate. I'm a grandfather, Addison Caroline and Benjamin Thomas. So I'm going to go with Bills 31, Jets 20.
Okay, Sammy.
I'm going to go with a little lower scoring, kind of such a dramatic game. I'm going to go 21-17 Bills.
All right, Bills all the way around. You'll get our predictions when we come back and we break down the Bills and Jets as we continue, guys. Thanks. That's been the Mafia. We continue with more of the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show next.
It's apple picking time. When was the last time you bit into an apple? With affordable Shatkin Mini Dental implants, you can stabilize your dentures and replace missing teeth in as little as one visit. You can be you again, only better. Call the Aesthetic Associate Center today at 716-839-1700 for your free consultation.
It means a lot to be able to work with my dad to continue this legacy that we have going on.
I had many implants. Once I got them, it was like the old me came back.
The changes you can make in such a short period of time in somebody's life, have somebody in the chair crying because they finally have a full set of teeth. And I think the only way to do it in that type of time period for that type of price is really the mini implant.
Mini dental implants can change your life too. Call us at 839-1700 for a free consultation.
All right, final segment of the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. Rich, Dr. Jared. All right, let's talk about the Jets. Obviously, 32 points against a defense I think a lot of people thought were going to be better. Yeah. But against the Steelers, they lose in the last play of the game against Pittsburgh. Breece Hall, over 100 yards, 5.6-yard average. I don't know if this new OC under Aaron Glenn is going to get him more looks than he did a year ago, and why wouldn't you? Because he is so much like Jahmyr Gibbs, right? Yeah. Why wouldn't he? The guy comes from the Lions factory. Why wouldn't you, incorporate him that way? Garrett Wilson, again, the main target for Justin Fields. I don't know, what's your latest on Garrett Wilson after the Ramsey hit? Have you heard anything?
No, I mean, I've heard that. I think he's probably going to end up being a go for this game, and I think it's really important for them to have him play.
For sure.
But he played a great game, and so did Justin Fields, in my opinion.
And so much comes down to Justin Fields, and he does not have a lot of weaponry, similarly to what Aaron Rodgers had. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's got virtually nothing. He's got Garrett Wilson, and he's got Josh Reynolds, Tyler Johnson, Mason Taylor, and that's about it.
Right, but he's
dynamic. He's definitely
dynamic with his feet,
yep.
and they did a lot offensively that was pretty impressive to me in that game. And I think his connection from college with Garrett Wilson is something that you're going to see throughout the season. He trusts him. He puts the ball up to him. I don't see this Jets team as an easy game for us to win at all.
Jets, good defense, gave up 4 touchdowns to Aaron Rodgers. I mean, they got good guys back there. They get Brandon Stevens from the Ravens. Obviously, they get Jalen Ramsey. Obviously, they have Sauce Gardner. And yet, they were exposed in that game.
Yeah, they were exposed. And that happens to a couple teams in week 1. So I don't want the Bills to look at this as something where that's going to be how the Jets defense is going to be. You got to go in there expecting that they have talented guys up front. They got talented guys in the back end. Treat it like it's a very difficult game because it's a division game, and division games are always close.
And Aaron Glenn comes from the Dan Campbell camp, so he is not going to let those guys be soft going into this game. That is for sure. It's going to be a very, very tough physical game. Give me your prediction.
I think the Bills are going to win this one 31-27.
Okay, Jets scoring a lot of points. I got the Bills 24-20, so there you have it. I got to thank our sponsors, obviously, for the show, Aesthetic Associates, Dr. Todd Shatkin, Sorrentino's, Russell's, and our friends at Napoli's as well. Thanks to you for watching. Go Bills, and thanks for being part of the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show.
In the Pocket is sponsored by Mini Dumpster Rental. Call 716-429-6362. This has been a production of the Shatkin Sports Network.